Borders and boundaries. Your city, my city, shoe city. That's what commercials be saying. But in New York City, it's the migrant city. Why? Because they're committing crime at a very high rate and they're being put back on the street. Now, some people would be like, Pico, what are you talking about? What do you mean they're putting them back on the streets? I, Pico Slim, am about to identify a couple of people who've gotten away with crimes over the past couple of weeks. And it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. We have an individual. His name is Daniel Hernandez. No, not that Daniel Hernandez, not 6'9". We talking about Daniel Hernandez Martinez from Venezuela. Yeah. Peep gang. This man, 29 years old, decided that he was going to rob a convenience store. You know what I mean? He needed the essentials. He needed a toothbrush, he needed a couple of soup, some soap, you know what I mean? Maybe some sandals, some shoes, some socks. He tried to rob the little bodega. All right, cool. They caught him. He got arrested. Then released. All right. Later on that week, he goes to another bodega and he tries to rob that joint, only to find out that there's security there. But this time, he's well prepared, people. He decided to pull out a knife. He tried to unalive a couple of the police officers there. They got him. They held him down. They took him into the precinct. He went to jail again. Then released. 2 weeks later, somehow he finds himself in a situation at a free hotel. A free hotel. Free hotel. And he beats the guy up with the bike tire. Now, you may be asking yourself, why are you saying free hotel, Pico? There's nothing free in America, unless you're a migrant. Apparently, there's $53 million that Mayor Adams in New York is planning on giving. Now, I'm telling you this for a reason. Follow me. This whole episode, we are going to clear something up, and I'm going to make everybody understand why these people are here. I'm going to make everybody understand why they're here. People acting like they don't know. But today, you're going to find out. That's besides the point. This man beat a 52-year-old man with a bike tire. Think about that, people. Think about that. Let's go back to the first crime that he committed. The first crime, what was it? That right there is damn near assault with a deadly weapon. That's damn near murder almost. That's an armed robbery. Shot up with a knife. You feel me? That's like 5 years automatically. 5 to 25. 5 to 25. You know what I mean? The first robbery, maybe he probably would have got probation if he ain't never did nothing before in his life. Probably would have got probation. Maybe had to do 90 days in probation. But then the second time, come on, guys. Homeboy should have been in jail, prison, locked up. He attacked a police officer, folks. Attacked a police officer. But that's besides the point. Let's go to this other gentleman. 15-year-old immigrant. He decided that he wanted to shoot downtown at Times Square. That's right, folks. He thought it would be very entertaining. Thought it would be a great movie if he just go down there and shoot a Brazilian tourist in the leg at Times Square. Think about that. Think about that. He shot a Brazilian tourist. You're like, Pico, why is it so important that he's Brazilian? Brazil is the second biggest economy outside of the United States, if I'm not mistaken. They're like the United States in South America. Think about that. So when that person came to New York to visit as a tourist spot, where New York makes a lot of its money from being a tourist spot, and an illegal immigrant decides that he's just going to open up and shoot this person, then flee from the cops and shoot at them while they're trying to catch him. What do you think's going to happen? What do you think should happen? Did this person not see the videos that I did on the technology that they have that can trace where you're going in and out of stores and trace you all the way to your home? Did he not watch that? No, he didn't. Want me to tell you why? Because he was busy jumping the border while I was out here informing the public that this was going on. I tell y'all all the time, this world isn't fair. If we was in their country and we violated these laws, we would never be seen again. Phone call. You think we getting a phone call? We pulled out a knife on, say, the federales? You think we getting a phone call? Only phone call that's gonna be made is to the United States embassy, from the embassy to your parents, saying that you ain't make it from your trip. That's the only phone call that's gonna be given. This person should get at least 5 years, bro. At least 5 years. He shot somebody, then fled and shot at the police. He should be in jail. Under the jail. Like, not to go back to the Daniel Hernandez 6ix9ine situation, but there was a gentleman named Kuda B. They said that he shot in the air at Times Square, hit the top of the hotel, I guess, sign or whatever, and he got 54 months. Had to serve 3 of them. He got 54 months. If they allow these people to get back outside on the street and walk the street again, without understanding the laws and systems that go on in America, how are they going to ever learn to do the right thing? If they let them walk on the street again, what does that say that they think of you? The regular everyday person, and if you do any one of these crimes that I named before, you'll be doing 5 years. Guaranteed. There will be no getting back out, walking the street. Nah, that ain't going on. That ain't going on. Now, while all this is going on, meanwhile, at the DMV in Florida, they standing on business. What do you mean, Pico? They standing on business. I'll tell you what I mean. They requiring documentation. As Umar said, that white people paperwork. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What do you mean, Pico? I'll tell you what I mean. They require that paperwork. Apparently, there are people with mental illness who want to consider themselves or identify as the opposite sex, but cannot. Why? Because they need that birth certificate. That's right. They need that social security. That's right. They need those 2 things. And you know what I say about that? That's right. Your name is Patrick, not Patricia. Say it again. Your name is Patrick, not Patricia. If this was 30, 40, 50 years ago, we considered a mental illness. I don't see any of these other countries accepting this weird and you know what? I'm not even gonna go on y'all like that. I'm gonna let you live. Because I got a bigger point to make. Y'all gonna take that and make that the whole thing. But let's make the bigger point. I'm an American citizen, United States citizen. I live in my hometown, actually. Well, my home county. I live in my home state. You feel me? At the age of 30, I had to go inside the damn MVA and prove that I was an American citizen. Can you imagine how flabbergasted I was learning that I had to prove this shit? Like, think about that. You grew up in this country your whole entire life. Birth from a hospital in this country and all that. You've gotten multiple identification cards, IDs, and all that since the age of 16. But for some reason, when I turned 30, now y'all need not just the former ID as it's expiring. Nah. Y'all sitting here talking about something. Y'all want the birth certificate. Y'all want the social. I've been here forever. But that's besides the point. Because NVA is so strict, that I think that we should run our elections off of that type of information. If you do not have your driver's license identification from the DMV and you are not an American citizen, you should not be able to vote. Why am I saying this? This is why I'm saying this. Did you know in several states across the United States, It is not required for you to show any type of voter information, identification to vote. Let me say it louder for you motherfuckers in the back. Did you know there are several states, several of them, that allow people to vote with no voting documentation, identification, or nothing? Let's run down those states, shall we? You got Maine. You got Vermont, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Massachusetts, West Virginia, Illinois, New Jersey, Iowa, Minnesota, Nevada, Wyoming, Nebraska, Oregon, California, and New Mexico. What is the importance of this? I'll tell you why. If you add up all their electoral college votes, it adds up to 213. If I'm not mistaken, you need 270 to win the presidency. So you telling me that over 200 electoral votes, the people don't need no ID to vote? How you know it's really them voting? Oh, y'all don't believe me. Okay, let's go through the numbers by state once again. Maine, 4. Vermont, 3. New York, 29. Pennsylvania, 20. Maryland, 10. Massachusetts, 11. West Virginia, 5. Illinois, 20. New Jersey, 14. Iowa, 6. Minnesota, 10. Nevada, 6. Nebraska, 5. Wyoming, 3. 55 in motherfucking California. New Mexico, 5. And just in case if I didn't say it, Oregon, 7. Regardless of the case, we did the math. The math adds up to 213 electoral college votes. We know it's about 270 needed to win the presidential election. So is it not true, or is it true, that the election can be mistabulated? That's my question. I just have a question because my whole lifetime of living, I lived in the state of Maryland, and we've always went blue. But for some reason, the governor race, we went red a couple of years ago. Now that leads me to think, is the fixing in Maryland too? All my life, New York has always been blue. Always been blue. Always been blue. California, always been blue. My lifetime, people, my lifetime. And I know people going to be like, oh, well, Texas has always been red. But Texas require motherfucking IDs, nigga. They require IDs. IDs. What y'all require? What your state require? Really think about that. That's how you know if your state is bought and paid for. And I say this strictly because Maryland is right next to D.C. Virginia got some other stuff going on where they ain't allowing this. You need your ID to vote. But somehow they have convinced the United States of America that it is discriminatory to stop somebody from voting if they don't have their ID. That it's somehow racial. They act like we can't read. We can't go to the DMV and get an ID. I don't care what your struggle situation is or whatever. You can always get an ID. If you want child support, you may not be able to get that driver's license, but you can get that ID if you're an American citizen. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. There's no excuses. There's no excuses, but they keep building in excuses. They keep building in excuses for you to fall short on all your goals, for you not even to dream of a goal, for you just to dream of them supporting you their whole life. And by them, they really mean the United States citizens who's doing what they're supposed to do and paying out of their taxes. Think about this. There's some people right now who ribs are touching, but all their bills are paid. And then there's other people right now who ribs aren't touching and none of their bills are paid, but they're not worried about getting kicked out. Why? Because they got the federal government on their side. Because they got the state government on their side. And that state government is going to bail them out. They're going to pay their rent. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. But back to this electoral college BS. It's funny that nobody's brought this to the forefront. Nobody brought this to anybody's attention. Everybody's just acting like, this is just normal work. You feel me? That's 213. 213. Isn't that a group? That's Snoop Dogg's group. Because they high as hell. Thinking that I'm just going to sit here and let this shit pass. Y'all need to do something, America. It is not discriminatory to tell people they got to have an identification, photo ID, in order to vote. It's not discriminatory. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I just went to the ones that had no information you had to give. This is the people that had none. There's other states that do not require a photo ID. So they'll probably take something like, what is that? Social Security card. You say that's you. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I'm speculating, of course, because I'm not in one of them states. I'm speculating on that, of course. But everything else that I said today has been fact. Proven. All that. I don't care how you take it. Especially the mentally ill people who I was talking about earlier. I don't care how you take it. Everything I said was facts. Now, think of it this way. If you knew that the system was set up this way, and for 213 electoral college votes, these people did not need any type of ID or anything like that, right? If you were on the losing end and you wanted to guarantee that you were going to win, even if you were on the losing end because you were unable to talk in front of people and form sentences, I'm not a rocket scientist or a Harvard scholar, but this is something that I would do. If it was me, I would go ahead, free up the borders, let everybody I need in, and then I'll send them to these states up here. I'll send them to these states, and then I'll make it known to them that it was me that let you in so you could get a better life. So I need you to go ahead and vote for me. And if I can't get you to do that, I'll gather up maybe a couple 100,000 of y'all, couple 100,000, hold you, detain you against your will, and then pay you on election day to go inside and vote for my guy. That's what I would do if I wanted to guarantee a win. Now ask yourself, do you believe this has happened? That's all I got for y'all.